Thank you for joining us in Finding God in the world of video games. And of all the challenges that have existed over this last crazy year, Animal Crossing was one of the few constant positives in a sea of trials and tribulations. If you haven't played it, the world of Animal Crossing is a bright, colorful, happy place where anyone could come and just relax, unwind, enjoy the simpler things in life. Just going around collecting insects with your net, fishing, stargazing, decorating. I happen to really enjoy decorating.
When you decorated our entire island with, what was it, the salad cat meme?
Yes, I feel
he
like
decorated my entire house.
Classy.
My entire area of where my house was, even the whole island in the salad cat
We
meme.
talked about this in a video like a year ago. You still haven't moved on from this?
I don't think anybody would. I'm scarred for life.
I thought it looked great. I thought it brought the whole island together.
I didn't. I think I may have even stopped playing after you did that. I don't even know.
It's possible, but I refuse to believe that the salad cat decorations were the sole cause of you stopping playing Animal Crossing.
I did put like 300 hours into the game, though.
You mean just in one day, or you mean over the collection of extended period?
But for reals though, the best part about Animal Crossing for me was that I didn't need to be a skilled gamer or even a fan of the series to jump right in. I remember when you told me Animal Crossing was coming out, and I was like, I don't even know what that is. What is that? Never even heard of it.
Reconsidered a lot of things about our relationship at that point. But then we bought Animal Crossing, so we were okay.
Like I said, never played the game before, never heard of it, and then we got it, put 300 hours into it in a day. But the villagers and local entrepreneurs would guide me through every second of the process, even if, a few also happily charged a fairly ridiculous amount of bells for the pleasure of their assistance. And I'm looking at you, Tom Nook.
Now, just to be fair, Tom Nook, he would fit in like Shark Tank or something like that. He was a very, very savvy investor. I don't even know what a bell to dollar ratio is, but I feel like he would fit in just fine in that environment. But back to the Animal Crossing games. Throughout the year, I know I personally made a daily habit of it was a little routine for me. I'd check in with my neighbors, I'd do my little list of chores and tasks and get my Nook miles in. I would, get a bunch of seashells, catch some butterflies. In many ways, this was a game that felt like it was tailor-made for the challenges of the year 2020. No matter how gritty and lonely and dark the outside world was, and we know it was at any given time, the kindness of my virtual friends in Animal Crossing were always ready to push those feelings away, even if it was just for a short amount of time. It was a nice little oasis that was always there for me whenever I needed it, whether it was maybe first thing in the morning, maybe it was during some long sleepless hours during the night.
We'd stay up for hours trying to get some
stars. There were some, or certain fish that would only come out during certain times. So now I can't pinpoint the exact moment that this happened, but one day I didn't stop to check in on my neighbors or collect my Nook miles. I didn't even turn the switch on. Maybe it was just an unusually busy morning, or maybe I just forgot. I don't know. But then that one day turned into 2, and those 2 days became a week. And after a few more weeks went by, I started realizing I had missed some of the large seasonal events that I had previously been looking forward to.
The same thing happened to me too, and I suppose I could have done the, whole time travel thing that everybody else was doing, but to be honest, and I know this really probably sounds terrible, but I didn't really want to. and now here I sit realizing it has literally been months. Maybe almost close to a year. It's been
a year.
Okay, maybe not a year. That's an over-exaggeration. It's been a really long time since the last time I had even played the game. And I know I talk about it all the time, like, I kind of want to play, and then I just don't do it. And it is highly likely that many of my neighbors who had carried me through some of my most challenging and stressful days have probably moved on, left the game, and stopped waiting for me to ever return. I don't even know. I didn't mean to simply use them and then discard them once I no longer needed them. It just kind of happened.
And I hate to say it, but there is a biblical character that I can relate to here. And they aren't someone that I'm proud to identify with. Maybe you know her story, maybe you don't. And just to be fair, this is not the most family-friendly story in the Bible. So if you have little ones, maybe this isn't the rest of the episode that they should watch. But it is in the Bible, and it is important to understand, because as much as I enjoy the stories of some of the heroines of faith, such as Esther and Deborah and Ruth, and some of these people that demonstrated an incredible amount of faith and did a whole lot of amazing things, the truth is I don't have a lot of things in common with those people. I have a lot more in common with the young lady I'm going to talk about here, Gomer, than I do any of those names that I just mentioned. Now, you may not recognize the name Gomer. It's very possible the only Gomer you've ever heard of is Gomer Pyle from the Andy Griffith show. But this Gomer is a female, and we can find her story in the book of Hosea. Hosea chapter 1, verses 2 through 3. They get right to it. The Lord began to speak to Hosea and said to him, "Go, take yourself a wife of harlotry and children of harlotry, because the land, Israel, has committed great harlotry by departing from the Lord." So he went and he took Gomer, and she conceived, and she bore him a son. Now that's not a great introduction for anybody. As soon as we make our acquaintance with this prophet Hosea, we find out that his life is about to become basically an act of performance art for the Lord to send a message to the people of Israel. We don't get Hosea's reaction. I have a feeling he probably wasn't that enthused about this unique mission. But either way, Hosea made his selection. He chose the prostitute Gomer as his bride, and he began a little family with her.
Now, without knowing Gomer's backstory, it is hard to have much to say about her except to hope that she is turning over a new leaf and thankful for this opportunity to start a brand new life with the new horizons she has been presented. Did you see what I did there? Get it? New leaf, new horizon. Come on! You know that was at least worthy of, a golf clap.
Possibly, but I don't golf, so I wouldn't know if it was worthy of that.
Golf.
I know it wasn't worthy of a regular clap, and also if I did think it was worthy of a regular clap, I'm just going to wake up the baby. So it's not a good thing.
True.
I'll give you credit for some good use of some puns.
I thought I did pretty good.
Well, you read them off the script well. Oh. But let's see what happens next. So
guess you did it pretty good.
Chapter 3, verses 1 through 3, and this is going to be from the Message Bible. This is Hosea speaking from the Lord. The Lord said, "Start all over. Love your wife again. Your wife who's in bed with her latest boyfriend, your cheating wife. Love her the way I, God, love the Israelite people, even as they flirt and party with every god that takes their fancy." So I did it. This is Hosea, not me. That's talking. We're still quoting the Bible.
I was going to say, wait, what?
No, I didn't. Not me. So Hosea says, "I did it. I paid good money to get her back. It cost me the price of a slave. And I told her, from now on, you're living with me. No more whoring, no more sleeping around. You're living with me, and I'm living with you." Hosea just keeps drawing the short end of the stick here. I mean, it's hard enough to be taken seriously if you're a prophet of God when your wife is well known in all the wrong circles. And now he had to go back and buy his unfaithful wife back to serve as an example of the completely undeserving love that God the Father has for us.
Now, after Gomer was given a second chance at life as the honorable wife of a wonderful man, she fell right back into her old sins and demonstrated once again how unworthy she was of Hosea's love and forgiveness. As a matter of fact, she didn't even come to Hosea begging for forgiveness and reconciliation. He went out to find her.
And here's the truth that is painful for me to admit. I would love to say that I can identify with Hosea here, but I don't. Many times in life, I have been Gomer, promising my life, my love, and devotion to the Lord, only to eventually forget how good he has been to me and regress back into old habits, old sins, and a self-serving lifestyle that he had already delivered me from. And I think that is why Gomer's story is here in the Bible, to remind us that the Lord's faithfulness to us has nothing to do with our past or even our present faithfulness to him. He loved us in our most unlovable state, and he remains committed to us regardless of our indiscretions and our moral failures.
Through my Animal Crossing game, that was always there for me through the hard times, the dark days, and the long nights. Anyone know? I have realized that I am not a great virtual neighbor. Not really. And through the story of Gomer, I completely identify with the unworthy recipient of love from one who has done nothing but showered me with good gifts and bring me into his family. Even though I have not even done him the good service of being a faithful follower in return at all.
But here's the best part of this story. Once Gomer was bought back by Hosea, we have no record of her ever leaving again. It appears that she finally made the decision to allow herself to be fully loved and to love in return. And just like Gomer, we were also bought back after being born into sin, as you see in Psalm 51:5, as well as the process that we've all done in making our own sinful choices, like it talks about in James 1:14. The Lord loves each and every one of his Gomers, not because we have a clean past or a pure heart, or because we chose him first. We didn't. He pulled us out of the miry clay. You see that in Psalm 42. No matter how sordid our past has been, or how we may have failed him even after our conversion. I think that's the important point here. It wasn't that he just went and found her and redeemed her. He had to go back after she failed him again as his wife and bought her back. The Lord is ready, willing, and able to wash all of those sins away permanently. Now, I may always be a Gomer to some people who maybe know my past, but I would ask you, don't call me by that old name anymore. Just call me his. Now, if you don't mind, I think we both have some old friends that I owe a visit to, and maybe a little salad cap decorating.
Wait, no, not the salad cap.
No. I need it.
No.